Hi, everybody. I apologize right off the bat for the late post. I had this posted earlier today, but I had some technical difficulties and the video didn't embed the way it was supposed to. Um, so I apologize again. My name is Jacob Brennan, and let's just jump straight into it. So the test that I did was the Big Five test with personality assessor, and the three that I scored very well in on the Big Five test were conscientiousness, openness, and emotional stability. Um, the one I scored lowest in was extroversion, but we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. Um, Regarding what I learned about perception and how it affects a manager's decision making abilities. So in my current role, I am management adjacent. I am the safety manager for a telescope out in Arizona. What I mean by management adjacent is that I am not anyone's direct supervisor. I'm in a department by myself. I have a supervisor, but I don't have any direct authority over anybody. What the authority I do have is in ensuring personnel and equipment safety. So I technically am a manager for everybody and nobody at the same time. But what I've learned about perception through this test and through my own experiences is that perception is largely relative. Um, a positive interaction for a manager can be negative or can be perceived as negative for an employee and vice versa. Um, I have an example of that, and we'll jump right into the next topic. And there were two individuals. We'll name them employee one and employee two. Employee one overindulged, not overindulged, over explained, overshared. That's the word I'm looking for. Excuse me. So they overshared about their personal life. And employee two, trying to maintain small talk and just trying to, show interest. And employee two, he was pretty new. He was about there for about 1 to 2 months at that point, and just trying to kind of figure out where he's at. So he kind of just talked to employee one about this kind of personal life thing. And employee one um, ex- continued to over explain and to overshare. And employee two said something that they didn't feel was negative in any way, but employee one took it negatively. Um, and there's that disconnect on how things are perceived at different levels. It ended up getting resolved. Both of them had to sit down with management and kind of explain both sides of the coin and kind of how each one led themselves astray. Um, it was kind of a weird situation, but it ended up working out fairly well. And then the last one is explain the impact perceptions can cause in the communication process and organization. Provide at least two solutions you as a manager would implement to overcome that impact. So failure in our perceptions can cause they can cause and from my personal experience, not talking about other people and like me actually, um it has failure to properly perceive how a situation is played out and basically where I stand with another individual has basically blocked off communication. That goes to kind of that not very extroverted, um, based off of the Big Five test. I think I tested at like 33 percentile. Um, but the the way that that ended playing out for me was that I felt that an individual had a negative opinion of me, and they also felt that I had a negative opinion of them, and both of us decided that, well, we're just not going to interact with the other person. It wasn't until that we were forced to interact with each other that we realized, oh, we're both kind of just making this a bigger thing than it actually is, and then we relatively quickly worked through the issue. But um, he was a manager, and I was the safety manager, and we just kind of felt that, yeah, no, like we both perceived that there was an issue, when there really wasn't one. It was a large misunderstanding. But I'm going long, so thank you for your time. Sorry for the late post, and happy 4th of July.